I woke up for the fourth time that night, my heart racing, sheets drenched in sweat. It's just menopause, I told myself. Again. But at 68 years old, 5 years past menopause, something wasn't adding up. I was exhausted all day, forgetting simple things, and my husband said I'd stopped snoring, which sounds like good news, except I'd started gasping instead. It took 3 doctors and 6 months before someone finally said the words, sleep apnea. But here's what shocked me most. The signs had been there for years. I just didn't know what I was looking for. And neither do most women over 50.
I'm Elena Hartwell, and today I'm sharing the 10 silent signs of sleep apnea that women our age need to know, because they look nothing like what you'd expect.
Let me take you back to about 3 years ago. I was 65, recently retired from my nutrition practice, and I should have been enjoying life. Instead, I was dragging myself through each day like I was walking through mud. My doctor ran thyroid tests. Normal. Checked my iron levels. Fine. Suggested antidepressants for my mood changes. I almost took them, but something in my gut told me this wasn't depression. This was different. I'd wake up with pounding headaches. I'd forget why I walked into a room, not occasionally, but multiple times a day. My daughter joked that I'd become grumpy grandma, and honestly, she wasn't wrong. The turning point came when my husband started sleeping in the guest room. Not because I was snoring loudly, that's the thing, but because I'd wake up gasping, thrashing around, and it scared him.
That's when I learned something crucial. Sleep apnea in women over 50 looks completely different than it does in men. And it's being missed by doctors everywhere.
Here's what's happening in our bodies after menopause. When estrogen and progesterone levels drop, we lose the natural protection these hormones provided to our airways during sleep. Our throat muscles relax more than they should, and suddenly, we're at 2 to 3 times higher risk for sleep apnea than we were before menopause. But here's the problem. Most screening tools were designed based on male symptoms: loud snoring, observed breathing pauses, gasping for air. Women? We present differently. We have insomnia, mood changes, fatigue, things that get blamed on just getting older or stress or hormones.
So let me walk you through the 10 silent signs I experienced, and that you might be experiencing right now without realizing what they mean.
Sign number 1, you can't stay asleep even though you're exhausted. This was my biggest clue, and I ignored it for 2 years. I'd fall asleep fine around 10 p.m., but by 1 a.m., I was awake. Then 3 a.m., then 5 a.m. Each time I'd toss and turn for 30-45 minutes before drifting off again. I thought I had insomnia. Tried melatonin, magnesium, chamomile tea, you name it. Nothing worked consistently. Here's what was really happening. Every time my airway partially collapsed during sleep, my brain would jolt me awake just enough to restart my breathing. I wasn't conscious of it, but my sleep was being fragmented dozens of times per night. Women are much more likely than men to experience this maintenance insomnia rather than loud snoring. If you're waking up multiple times a night and you can't figure out why, this could be your first red flag. Sign number 2, you're exhausted all day, no matter how much you sleep. I was in bed for 8 hours, sometimes 9, but I'd wake up feeling like I'd been hit by a truck. By 2 p.m., I needed a nap. By 7 p.m., I could barely keep my eyes open watching TV. My friends would say, "Well, we're in our 60s now, what do you expect?" But this wasn't normal aging fatigue. This was bone-deep exhaustion that coffee couldn't touch. When you have sleep apnea, you never reach the deep restorative stages of sleep. Your brain is working overtime all night just to keep you breathing. So even though you're lying in bed with your eyes closed, you're not actually resting. If you're sleeping 7-8 hours but still feeling exhausted every single day, your body is trying to tell you something. Sign number 3, morning headaches that fade by mid-morning. Every morning, I'd wake up with this dull, pressing headache across my forehead, like a tight band around my head. I blamed my pillow, my mattress, dehydration, everything except what it actually was. These headaches happen because when your breathing is interrupted during sleep, carbon dioxide builds up in your blood. Your blood vessels dilate to compensate, causing that morning headache. The telltale sign? They improve within a few hours of waking up. If you're experiencing this pattern 3 to 4 times a week or more, it's worth investigating. Sign number 4. Mood changes, anxiety, irritability, or depression. Remember when I mentioned my daughter calling me grumpy grandma? That wasn't just hurt feelings. I had become irritable, snapping at my husband over tiny things, feeling anxious about situations that never bothered me before. I even started feeling depressed, which was completely out of character for me. I've always been optimistic, solution-focused. Suddenly, everything felt heavy. Chronic sleep deprivation wreaks havoc on your emotional regulation. Your brain literally doesn't have the resources to manage stress effectively. Studies show that women with untreated sleep apnea have significantly higher rates of depression and anxiety, but treating the sleep apnea often resolves these mood issues without antidepressants. If your mood has shifted and you can't pinpoint why, look at your sleep quality first. Sign number 5. Brain fog and memory problems. This one scared me the most. I'd forget appointments I'd made the day before. I'd lose my train of thought mid-sentence. I'd read the same paragraph 3 times and still not remember what it said. At 65, I started wondering if this was early dementia. It wasn't. Your brain consolidates memories during deep sleep. When sleep apnea prevents you from reaching those deep stages, your cognitive function suffers. Memory, concentration, decision-making, all of it declines. The good news? This is reversible when you treat the underlying sleep apnea. Sign number 6. Night sweats and hot flashes, years after menopause. I was 5 years past my last period. My hot flashes had stopped 3 years earlier. So when I started waking up drenched in sweat again, I was confused. Here's what I didn't know. The stress response your body has when you stop breathing triggers the same fight-or-flight hormones that cause hot flashes. Your heart rate spikes, your body temperature rises, and you wake up sweating. If you're experiencing hot flashes long after menopause ended, especially if they're happening primarily at night, this could be sleep apnea masquerading. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like so we can continue to bring more videos like this one. Thanks for watching.